Welcome to a tour of all my Nepenthes. Now I have Nepenthes in the tree, just sitting on this table, and I also have some behind there that are massive vining plants that wouldn't fit. So I think we'll start off with this one. This is my Nepenthes truncata cross ventricosa. It's one of my favourites. This is the largest picture it's ever given me. Look at the thickness of the peristome. And this is the size it usually gives me. These, maybe this is on a little bit of a larger side, but you can see how large these get. Now the size is coming from the truncata parent, and the easiness of growth is coming from the ventricosa. This is actually two plants. There's one plant here, this straight one that goes down there. Then there's another plant here that's sort of doing a loop-de-loop and comes around here. And the reason why these new leaves are so small is because it actually has a flower here. I tried to pollinate it, but I don't think it went through. Here is just a little ventricosa. I have no idea where I got it. Suddenly it just appeared. I don't know if I forgot it for a period of time or if it was a basil or anything. These are just some pinguicula, but they're not Nepenthes, so I won't feature them. Might as well do this one. This is my Nepenthes gothica. It is, I think, a cutting. Oh wait, no. This is a separate plant because I have another gothica here and I thought it was a cutting. No, this is a separate plant. It's got a couple basils. One has this really nice picture. It looks very different from my other one, actually. While we're talking about it, this is my other one. I don't think it has any pictures right now, but this one I got from Trifford Park and it has much thinner peristome and lighter blotches. This is my Nepenthes thorillii. It used to be lots of vines, but I had to cut them back because all the leaves died off and there was only a couple tiny like basils at the top. Now the elephant in the room is this Nepenthes ventricosa cross carsiana or cross emerine. It only has one picture on it. Actually, no, I lied. It used to have two pictures on it. It has a couple basils down there. But even this one's starting to die off. This one's pictures don't last very long. You can see it goes all the way up there. Now, the second elephant in the room is this beautiful Nepenthes Rocco exotica cross Boschiana cross truncata. I almost butchered that name. But you can see this is its best picture. And look at the peristome and size on that. And again, you've probably already noticed this, but I just grow these outside with no humidifiers. And I'm surprised they've survived, actually. This is a basil from that plant that we started off with. Again, it's a truncata ventricosa. It has two pictures. This one here, which is starting to die. And this one got a bit, what's called? Yeah, it looks a bit funky because it got squished between some pots. I've since moved it, but yeah, just got a bit deformed. That's the word I was looking for. This is my first or second. These are my third or second Nepenthes. I don't know which one is which. I just put them in the same pot. Yeah, because my first Nepenthes was a random one that didn't have a name and it just died shortly after because I kept them inside. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but this is its largest picture. I haven't said its name yet. This is a Rebecca Soper, which is Ramaspina cross ventricosa. And this one used to have a vine here. Well, not really a vine, just a growth. I cut that off and I planted it here so the basil could have more room to grow. Speaking of the basil, it has a nice picture here. There's a plane in the background. Here is a nice little cross that I got. It is, hold on, I forgot. It's ventricosa cross lowii gothica. So you can see it has two little pictures. It had three, but I cut that off because it was half brown. Yeah, this one's a very hardy one. Now, one of my favourite crosses, not necessarily my favourite plant because it has no pictures, but this is a lowii cross veitchii cross Boschiana, or some of you will know as LVB. It has a nice leaf jump and a new picture coming. This has pictured once for me, and I've only had it for a couple of months, which is pretty good. And this plant, I just kept this dead picture on. I was going around cutting all of them off beforehand, but I kept this one on because I needed to show you what the picture did look like. So this is a Veitchiaikos burbigiae from Exotica. I didn't get it from Exotica, but the person that I got it from did. You can hear the noisy miners in the background. They're birds that hang around here. And it has a beautiful stripy peristome. This one has had some pest damage, but the newest leaf is massive, so I'm excited to see the picture on that. Here's a little hookriana I got pretty cheap, only 25 bucks. I've never seen I used to have a couple hookriana, but they all died on me. This one's doing pretty well so far. Its pitches are sort of dying off because of the shock. Actually, I need to give that some water. That's pretty dry. Do I have any water in my watering can? Yes, I do. Sometimes it's filled up and sometimes it's not. Okay, there we go. Have some water. And while I'm at it, I might give this one a little water. And I might put some water in this tray. Yeah, okay. That's enough water. Yeah, so that's just a little hookriana. That's Rafflesiana crossambularia. Here's a ventrata. I bought it as an alata, but I'm like 90% sure it's a ventrata. Because when it first started picturing, had these really nice orange pictures that look like this. The peristome was like rounded off, no like classical ventrata like spurs on it. And here we have the lower pictures, which came off one of the two basils. Yeah, I don't think that's a larder. Oh well, it's still a pretty good plant. And yeah, you can see those spurs I was talking about. I'm not sure what they're called. Sorry about that. I have a Lowii truncata here. This is my most expensive plant. Guess the price. Yeah, it was $300. But they did give me two. I got it from Exotica Plants. And the other one is here. I'll show it further, but there it is. It has a pretty good new picture coming. Yeah, so that's a Lowii truncata. It's pretty wobbly in the pot, but it has a nice picture that grew in my care. Now I'll do these middle ones. Here's a truncata giant, cross giant. A caterpillar has bitten this thing's growth point off twice, and it's finally getting a new leaf. So I'm hoping that it's not going to like break or something. That'd be terrible. This is another one from Exotica. Believe it or not, this thing is a truncata cross Edwardsiana. It doesn't have any pictures at the moment, but it sure is growing. It's got one coming here. Sorry for the sun if it's a bit annoying, but I think it looks pretty good. In here I have various crosses. Most of them are the same species. This is a Nepenthes cross Suki, which is Rafflesiana cross Sibionensis. This is a Bill Bailey, also known as Singulana cross Ventricosa. Yeah. This one and this one are Stenophylla from Exotica. These three are Truncata squat from Exotica, and that one's a Ventricosa cross Ampullaria. How many? So I have two more to go on the table. This is one of my first Nepenthes. It's a Veitchiaikos maxima from Australian Orchid Nursery. They're now out of business, I think. It has some pretty nice pictures. It also has a basil. The basil actually had a pretty reasonable sized picture, but they don't really last that long. Speaking of the basil, look at the size of that new leaf on the basil. Jeez. And the reason why you should never cut your basils, I've made this mistake a lot, you should instead cut the vine, is because the basils get much larger pitches because they have the root system. Because I'm pretty sure that's off a basil, but I'm not sure. In here I have a little Ventricosa. Well, it's actually two. Is it? No, it's one plant and it has a basil offshoot. This one was flowering. I think I cut them off because they died. But it has one tiny picture there sitting in the moss. It has 3 growth points. There's a basil. Oh yeah, there's a cluster of dead pictures. You can see them in there. Okay, now for the ones in the tree. This is across Jungle Bells. Oh, the picture opened. Okay, so this one wasn't growing well for me. It hadn't pictured for me in 3 years, and then it just had a growth spurt and started putting out these massive leaves. It was only like that big before, and oh my gosh, look at the size of this picture. Whoa. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely taking a photo of that. I'm gonna leave that up here somewhere. It won't stay. Okay, I'll leave it there. It has another picture growing here. Wow, okay, yeah. That is amazing. Oh yeah, Jungle Bells is Ventricosa cross-sibionensis. Now this is a classic Miranda. It's not doing too well. Oh, hi Benny. This is a cat that comes to visit our house every now and then. He likes to sit in this bush. I had no idea you were here. Oh, okay. Well, we better move on. Oh, I just knocked that. Oh yeah, that's what the upper pictures on the Rocco-Boschiana truncata look like. Yeah, he's noticed me now. He's gonna like... Okay, well, this is a Maxima, just a classic Maxima. It's got a huge new leaf going up here. Has a picture, but I think it's about to go. That's another Miranda. It's massive, but it doesn't have any pictures that I know of. This is one of my favorites. That's a straight Rocco, or I think it might be a Rocco cross spectabilis. That's what it was sold to me as, but I don't think it is. This is that Lowii truncata I was talking about. Has a beautiful new picture coming up. And this is a Ventricosa cross Jacquelineae. It has some pretty nice little basils coming up there. Behind there's another Rocco or cross spectabilis, I don't know. There's a cross Louisa. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's Hirsuta cross Rebecca Sopa. And Benny's just getting up here. We might say hello if he wants to come out. Oh no, he's just turning around. Okay, yep, here's a Ventricosa. Not much going on, but it does have a pretty cool picture in there. That's a Maxima cross Talangensis. It has a couple basal offshoots. And there is a Ventricosa cross Insignis, or Biac or whatever. There are my Sarracenias. They're my bogs, but they don't look too good now because it's starting to go into winter. And here are the last few. So they're all my non-survivors that kind of didn't make it. And this is the mother plant of all the Rocco spectabilis, or Rocco. This one I did pollinate. It is successful, but only on a few of the flowers, so I'm not sure which ones those are. Sorry if it wasn't focusing that whole time. There's another Ventricosa insignis, and down there is a basil on the Rocco cross thingy. This is a pot of Maxima cross Fusca that really isn't having a good time. That's Ventricosa cross Maxima that was flowering, and that's a Maxima. So that's all my Nepenthes that I have. Oh, hello, Benny. Do you want some pats? Yeah, he's a Bengal cat that visits our house. He's very friendly. Yeah, okay, well, nice to see you, Benny. He loves to sleep on the barbecue cover. But yeah, so that's all of my Nepenthes. What do you think about that?